can empower a young person or anyone to realize they can do something locally that's actually going to impact our sort of global nature, it's really, really empowering. And it creates doers. This is not just talking, this is not rhetoric, this is doing. And then it becomes relentless doing. And that relentless doing ultimately, yields quantifiable progress.
So, as David and I were building it, we spent a lot of time talking with Ian about how do we make sure that each piece of content that you're pushing out there has a, totally embedded action back to the work you're doing philanthropically, so that it doesn't just become that dead end. It becomes.
The last 4 weeks, we've been running a challenge called the Start a Riot Challenge, where we're just asking people to get behind a bunch of nonprofits. We offer some incentives that can win tickets to the Global Citizen concert next weekend. And we've seen a great response. I think we've raised almost $700,000 in just 4 weeks. Calling you out next week with $1 million.
Because I think up until now, there's been a lot of places where you can go and you can make a difference, you can do a change. But with Riot, we really are hoping that our stories, what's happening in the world, becomes that forward face that then causes people to do an action.
Which organizations do you guys work with?
A lot. There's hundreds on the site. Rules of journalism, age-old rules of journalism, you have to be objective, have created this environment that I think is best explained by comparing it to a wildlife documentary, where the crew's there filming a lion attacking a gazelle. And you're like, well, why didn't you intervene and save the gazelle? And now it's like, whoa, you can't interfere with nature. You don't interfere with nature. And so news has had that, take a step back approach. But we're passionate just to feel and say that you shouldn't be able to report about the crisis in Syria and not report what you can do about it and the solutions.
I don't think those rules are set in stone as much as they were perhaps for, when you watch CNN or Fox News, but when you watch the commercials that they play during CNN and Fox, it's all for adult diapers and canes and stuff. I mean, this is a generational thing that's happening.
So Ian, so you're a big part of getting people to hear about Riot. What kind of social media sites are you using these days? What's big? What's getting the biggest response?
Honestly, Twitter. Twitter is the one that I use the most, and I'll say, using this platform has been just an incredible experience. The thing is that if I find an article, again, it goes back to objectivity, subjectivity, but if I find an article, something that resonates with me, something I think is important, something I think is socially needs to happen, because let's make no mistake about it, we are facing some serious climate issues, social issues. If I wanted to spread this word, I can send a link to a news site. And I can send this to fans, and these guys up there and girls are activated, they want to read about it. But it's a dead-end street. Now, there's a call to action, and I think the response has been phenomenal, and it makes me feel so much better to know that I can relay this information, and that something comes of it. No longer is it just you reading an article, and that's it, put it to bed. And this is just, you see, there is a sea change happening. Now all of a sudden these embedded, now they're retweeting this, they're talking to their parents about it, it's in schools. So Twitter, social media changed the world. And we are all here witnessing it, and we're all part of it. And it's a really phenomenal thing.
Do you think there's a responsibility, in a sense, for people who are very visible in the public eye and have these big followings?
Again, subjectivity and objectivity, yeah. I think that any of us would probably argue to say yes to that answer. So I do, and I really hope and I encourage anyone who has, this all has to be in a collaborative spirit. And I truly encourage anyone who, whether you have 5 followers or 5 million followers, to use that platform and to use that microphone, to use that amplifier, to amplify the voices around you who have super great ideas, typically much better ideas than you have, and to spread that information, because again, we need to be able to use it for progress, but again, show quantifiable change. That's the idea, using social media to create quantifiable change. I feel awful. The incredible thing about this platform is it's like Harry the Tupperware salesman. I apologize. I'm so in love with this thing, but the idea is that what Brenda said, even if you cannot, in a monetary sense, donate money, just by simply trafficking, that builds ad dollars, which allows Riot to do exactly what it needs to do. So just literally, what a cool concept, just by literally going on the site you're making a change. So,
But no, we do have that.
I truly believe, as a journalist, you have a responsibility to provide an action for your reader. You know what I mean? And I think that's the new paradigm.
Is it okay to use something very accessible as the hook, right? Because it sounds like the storyline is, you take something that's shiny, cats. So you had a story like the Miley Cyrus story up, but then you try and get them into something that's more meaningful. Is that the new model? Is to take something that's very shiny?
Go from Miley to Syria?
I would love to see you try and make those things.
I think for